Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to In Black America Radio with your co-host Rasta B. It is August 28th, pretty much the end of August, 2020, 9:05, August 28th. The title is This is America, 2020 Vision, got you seeing things real clear. So, me and Smoke, we're pretty much going to be talking about a lot of current events, a lot of things going on with the NBA, with the little 17-year-old white boy licking shots and shit out, shit like a lot of shit. We're going to be talking about a lot of shit. And, yeah, let's go ahead and just jump into this. So before anything, let me go ahead and bring my co-host Smoke in. Smoke, you out there?
Yo, what's poppin'?
What's good, man?
Shit, man. Big Friday. So I'm a little happy I got my damn birth certificate in the damn mail. Like, finally.
Oh, you had to
All
get your birth
like,
certificate?
yeah, because I like the original one that I have is like, you know, it's been folded so many times it's about to fall apart. And like some of the information is like folded over so you can't even see it no more. So I'm like, all right, let me get another one. So I ordered that joint in May. Had to go through like a little check verification. That took like a month and some change. They sent it back like, all right, July 8th, we got your process finished. It should be mailed out by the 17th. It's August 28th or whatever. Yeah, the 28th. I just got that joint. I'm thinking it's stolen though. I'm like, yo, somebody probably snagged my joint. So I was a little relieved when it came in the mail today. So I was like, all right, cool. So
yeah, I
was a little excited, a little happy about that. But you know, other than that, Friday, you know how that goes.
Yeah, I gotta do that. I gotta do that shit with my damn social and shit. Years ago,
I gotta get my son joint. I gotta get my son social security card.
Years ago, I got my apartment broken into. And damn, actually, the apartment y'all saw, you and Tor saw.
Yeah, I remember that joint.
Yeah, I got that joint. It got broken into, and the cowards, man, they stole all my shit, but they also took something that had my social security card in it. And I ain't never replaced that shit. But I do got my I got my birth certificate though. I just don't got that, so I gotta get that shit. One of these days I gotta get that shit, but yeah, man, shit, yo. America, yo, showing its true self as expected, you know.
Yeah, it's all there for you to see.
Yeah. What's funny to me is 2020, which is the symbolism of clear vision, good vision, better vision, right? 2020 vision.
Right.
You got all the youth and shit they out there.
About that.
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
That's the first fucking time I thought about that. Damn,
you got the youth. You got the youth and shit. They running around talking about they woke. You know what I'm saying? And now America's showing you who she really is. I love it. I love it. I love it. Because see, now when you talk to black people and you say, yo, we got to build and do for self, it makes sense. It makes sense. When you sit there and you tell black people, we have to protect ourselves, we need to arm up, we need to train our children and shit because this country don't love us, it makes sense. When you talk to black people like that in a time of peace, we don't reciprocate that. That doesn't absorb in our soul. We want to fight against that reality.
Resonate.
Yeah, resonate. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't resonate with us. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard for us. to understand how this system really is. I'm gonna tell you something that's funny, Smoke. So I was uploading some shows on YouTube, right? Some of the old shows. I'm back in March putting this shit together. So I'm on March 13th show. I can't remember the name of the show, right? But March 13th show, and talking about the coronavirus.
Right.
So I'm listening to the conversation back and forth between us talking about it, and it's funny because not only are we laughing about the coronavirus, we laughing because we like, yo, this is in March. We like, yo, why they talking all this wash your hands and wash the counters and all kind of shit and wear a mask and all this silly shit when this shit is airborne? This in March.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? And the reason why that's important is because they recently said the virus is airborne. They recently said that. You dig what I'm saying? That's not something that they were saying since March. Actually, in March, they didn't even really want to enforce the mask shit, wearing the mask.
Yeah, the mandatory mask is within the last month or so, especially out in the non-New York areas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The last month or two is like anywhere outside of that, New York was like, you know, you wore that shit if you wanted.
Yeah, and I just read Kamala talking about they're gonna issue a mandatory mandate to wear a mask in America. They're gonna say, but you're not gonna get. There's no repercussion if you don't do it. I'm like, yo, what kind of stupid jargon is that? You can't tell somebody that's like you're at work and they like, yeah, because then I mean it's not mandatory. That goes against the fucking word. Like you can't say that's like, yeah, that's like saying, all right, Smoke, you got to work mandatory on the weekends, but if you don't, it's okay too. Then it's not mandatory. That's called voluntary.
You're like, cool.
Yeah, that's it. That's literally called voluntary. And they go. I said, yo, these Democrats, boy, they will tell you shit, man. It's wordplay, just like when you listen to them talk with the protests and shit. And like, because we respect the peaceful protesters, but we disavow the violent protesters. You know who else disavows the violent protesters? Trump and his boys. They disavow the violent. So you have the Democrats saying the same rhetoric that Trump is saying, but yet the person that gets the backlash for enforcing this is Trump. But both parties are saying the same shit. I'm just
it's a joke.
But the sad part is, like I always say, America would be the funniest shit on television if it was a sitcom. The sad part about it is black people is dying for America's entertainment. Black people is suffering for American entertainment. But if I wasn't black watching this shit, this would be the funniest shit I've seen in my life. That's how unbelievable the conditions of black Americans are in this country. That's how unbelievable it is. And the sad part about it is the conditions isn't what they are really even because of a system. That's a misnomer. It's not because of the system. It's not because of America. It's literally designed because of failed strategy by our leadership. And due to their failed strategy, that's like right now, Smoke. I'm out here drinking, getting fly, getting all the gear. All my kids, then we all fucking got all the latest gear and all that shit, but I ain't even paying my bills like that. The light cuts off. The light, you know what I'm saying? I'm pawning shit. I'm doing the title rebate shits and all kind of things. Pawning out the you know, all kind of shit like that. But my kids got all the toys and all kind of shit. And then I'm telling my kids how hard it is in life. how hard it is out here for the black man to really breathe and survive. You know what I'm saying? Because, yo, the white man don't even pay us enough to really live. And it's like, no, Dad. It's your fucking... It's how you spend your money. Yeah, it's like you're living reckless. You're
fly
living...
broke nigga.
Yeah, fly broke nigga. And then complaining. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, nigga, like, yo, boy, y'all boys eating too much food. And it's like, no, that. It has nothing to do with food. It has nothing to do with food. It has nothing to do with us getting older. It's because you're blowing your bread, yo. You're not using it wisely. You don't have a plan. You're moving aimlessly. And then you're hoping that it results in something tangible. And it's not. It's not. And listen, I want to blame these crackers so fucking bad, yo. I want to blame them so fucking bad, but really and truly, they don't have the power that you think they have. They don't have the power. The reason why we think they got power is because our leadership tells us they have power, and so they don't have to be held responsible for their failed leadership. So when we ask them, yo, what the fuck is going on? How are these laws on the books? Why y'all not doing this? Why? Oh, that's because of this racist system. And here's my question, Smoke. If the system is so fucking racist and it's systematic and Trump is destroying America, then why aren't we supporting Trump in his destruction and teardown of this system? Why will we support Biden in the Democratic side who is status quo? If you're saying, we're not talking about no other topic, we're talking about a simple thing. If you're telling me that the country was built upon systemic racism, it's a systematic racism and we have to destroy the system, then why do we always pick the side that wants to uphold the system, if that makes sense? You know what I'm saying? And that's the part.
Yeah, that's Babylon burn. If that's what you about.
Exactly. That's
what
what
you really
I
want.
That's what I say.
That's what you really want.
Yeah, because all I see what Trump doing is just rebuilding, recreating what America is going to be for the next at least 50 years. You know what I'm saying? Rebranding, right, of what it is and what it's about. He just said in his speech and shit like that, yo, he gonna try to make America factory, like the number one factory, like producing type country in the world and all kind of shit, you know. And it doesn't matter to me whether he can do it or if he just talking out his ass. I'm not white. So when I hear these things, the first thing I do, I look behind my black shoulder and I say, do we got that? Can we do that? Do we have the capabilities of that? Because if we don't, it don't matter if he's lying or if he's talking out of his ass. But those are things that we do need as black Americans and in black America to be strong in the country. We need to be producing shit. We need to get off our ass. Go ahead.
When you look at the vibe of the country, though, that kind of tells you that at least it's trending towards what he's saying, because you see the companies rebranded. You see them dropping off Aunt Jemima, dropping off Uncle Ben, you know, changing things around to fit in this new environment. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everyone is changing they shit up, changing their rhetoric up. It's like now you see like it's like people are accounting for the black movement. It's like they trying to build that into like whatever products they sell in, the programs on TV or whatever, you know, the sports. It's like everyone's trying to build that in right now. You know what I'm saying? It's basically just rebranding. Like, okay, well, there's going to be an issue the next 4, 5, 10 years, whatever. Let's account for that right now. You know what I'm saying?
No, but the funny thing, they did this in 2016. The exact same shit in 2016. It's the exact same play. The whole shit is they thinking that this is going to galvanize black people.
Right.
It's not galvanizing black people because you're not. See, the thing is this, Smoke. if I don't give you nothing, right, and I have no intention on giving you nothing, then what else can I do to get your vote? I have to guilt you into vote. I have to, like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it has to be another reason why you're voting, which is more emotional. It's not logical. It's not for a purpose or a reason. It has to be something like, your ancestors died for this. If you don't come out and vote and get Trump out, then these cops are just going to keep murdering you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
tactics.
And shit like that. Yeah, and it's just like, man, listen, we got to do more than that, because at the end of the day, my shit is this. It's either we need to accept being whatever class citizens we are in this country and accept our conditions and just shut the fuck up and move on, or we need to come with a real fucking understanding of what America is, raise and train our children to know and understand what America is, and start rebuilding ourselves. But if we're not trying to rebuild ourselves, rebuild our fucking communities and shit like that, be on some race first shit, then we might as well just fucking curl up and die. Straight up. Because at the end of the day, it's like, what are we talking about? We're not talking no new shit. All we're going to do is this, and I'm going to tell y'all to play. Because we know Kamala is in the play now. All right. So what we're gonna do is this is how the play gonna go. I already told y'all Trump gonna get reelected. So Trump gonna get reelected. After Trump is gonna be at least a one-term Republican president, right? We're gonna be sitting around over here dealing with the same shit we've been dealing with, the same reality we've been dealing with. All the people that's protesting now in their 20s is then gonna be in their 30s, going on to their 40s. Us that's in our 30s are going into our 40s. We're going to be in our 50s and 60s and shit. Then the next youth, which is probably going to be my children and shit, they're going to be out there like, yo, Dad, you know the police killed another unarmed black man? It's just going to be the same fucking story, yo, the same circle, the same cycle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The only thing is the threats might be different, where now it's going to be like, Dad, you know the fucking Latinos, they went full-fledged Republican? They don't even fuck with black. They don't even do black and brown no more. It's all, they on the Republican side. And it's like, okay, now we got a new enemy. You know what I'm saying? It'd be shit like that. But when it comes to who we are as black people, we're going to be in the same workers' mentality, because that's what the Democrats fight for, workers. Like, the Democrats tell you, we're fighting for the workers. Like, this is my game plan, is for worker. So everything that they're doing is that. You are a worker. As long as you're a worker, you can never be equal in this country, being a worker. Because even if you get $15 an hour working at McDonald's, you still ain't equal to the owner, to the manager. You see what I'm saying? And if you sit over there and you be like, oh, well, I ain't saying we should all make the same amount of money. I'm just saying we should be all treated equally. Guess what? You're still not treated equally. That whole equality shit is a farce. It's a farce. Equality comes when you are a part of a group that can sustain itself. That's where your equality comes. Because now you're equal. When you can go, when you smoke, to tell your son, yo, go up the block to the damn grocery store and get you a job. You're 15. And he could walk up there and be like, you know, like how it was back in the day. You know what I'm saying? You got that card or whatever, so you could work. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you could go over there and you could work locally.
I forget what you call that shit.
Yeah, we can't work locally in our communities. Not the majority of us, at least. We can't work locally. We have to go into the city. We have to go into somebody else's economy. That's what we have to do. go into somebody else's economy and basically beg them for a job. And how we beg them for a job isn't clenching our fingers and crawling on our knees and crying and begging and pleading. No. How we beg them is putting on that suit and tie and getting your resume together, combing your hair back, walking out, sitting over there now, smiling. You know what I'm saying? Going through that whole interview process and shit, trying to make you as pleasing to the person that's gonna potentially hire you. You know what I'm saying? And if you get the job, good for you. If you don't, you back on that damn rat race, looking for work. Now, in the black economy, would you have to do the same thing? Yeah. But the difference is you're in your own economy. So at least when you're walking into these interviews within a black economy, you're still going to have your suit and tie. You dig what I'm saying, Smoke? You're still going to have your resume. You're still going to be, but the difference is when you're talking to that other black person, it's not going to be in an inferior or overconfident because I have to prove myself. You know what I'm saying? It's none of those attachments. Now I can walk into an environment comfortable. Talk to the person. You know what I'm saying? Go inside the bank and talk to the loan agent or whatever, the loan manager, because you want a loan for. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different confidence now because you know I'm talking amongst my people that understand me. Not as a black person.
It's a fair playground.
That's equality.
Yeah, exactly. You could go in and get treated the same way somebody else gonna get treated in their economy. You come in, and your quality. They're not gonna give you the extra knock on. Okay, you live here, you did this and that.
Right.
But we providing all that service. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you go to the job interview like you was explaining, and you got a real opportunity to get hired. You got an opportunity to not just get hired, but get paid fairly. To get paid your worth, you know what I'm saying? Because it's more likely for you for that to happen when you working in, an economy of your own people. It's more likely for you to get paid or get overpaid.
Yep.
Or others get underpaid.
Because when the sister walks in with the afro, nobody gonna turn her head. Nobody gonna say, "Ew, why do your hair like that?" She don't have to keep pressing her hair down and burning it because the manager there's a dress code policy that we have to follow that in the majority of the dress code is anti-black. The majority of it is for you to attack who you are. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then you're going to have another set of people now who wants to fight to push diversity in the white office space. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you don't got to do none of that.
Get answered. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the things that we complain about in this specific case, the workforce, a lot of that goes away. Mm-hmm. You can wear the clothing that you wear. You can wear your cultural clothing. You know what I'm saying? You can have your hair how you wear it. Those ain't gonna be knocks against you.
Exactly.
Because we understand that shit. You around people that can relate to that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the whole point.
It's crazy.
That's the point, and that's the point, and that's what we don't get. Because just like I was telling someone. I said, just like if your name is Shamika, you know what I'm saying? Or Lucretia or some shit like that. In the white economy, you're going to get your shit thrown away. That's the narrative, right? But guess what? In the black economy, your name might be the highlight. Yeah. Where you looking like, okay, Mary, Samantha, Susan, Lucretia. Oh, let me see what Lucretia credentials are. She's black. Right, so bad. They. You know what I'm saying? That's a 4. You know what I'm saying? You start to pick up on your people. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, okay, let me highlight and elevate these names that I know is tied in to my culture. You know what I'm saying? And this is how a lot of these issues that we deal with gets eliminated. Look at the NBA. Where is that? I was just reading. See, because what happened was I had this story, and then my girl stepped on the computer cord and deleted. You know what I'm saying? I have nothing saved, so I ended up deleting. But they had this whole situation with the basketball player. I don't know his name. It's Berkeley or something. And the black woman, she's like I'm flicking through. I'm gonna see can I catch it because I know it's.
Oh, you're talking about
Beverly and Roberts exchange.
Patrick Beverly.
Yeah. So I'm so real quick on that one. It goes. So Patrick Beverly, they turned him into a villain because during the meeting, he reportedly told Michelle Roberts, a black woman, that when she said, well, can she complete her sentence or whatever, instead of him interrupting her, he said, I pay your salary, and wouldn't let her continue to make her point. So when you read the tweets and stuff, you know what I'm saying, everybody talking about how foul he was for saying that, and you know, then you got the Black Woman Coalition, they out there and they like, you know, oh, a black woman, this is how you talking to a black woman, and you know, all of that shit.
Yeah.
When you read the story, let's really dig into that. Take the emotions out. First of all, this is the damn coronavirus. They're forcing them to play in a bubble, right? Some of them don't even want to play in this bubble, correct? Now, anything I'm saying wrong, Smoke, just cut me off in this, you know, because, you know, I don't know about sports like that. Now you got them playing in the bubble, right? Now, a brother, Jacob Blake, is shot in the back 7 times, right? Paralyzed, right? Now they like, man, yo, fuck this playing basketball bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, man, like, I'm getting sick of seeing these cops gunning down black men or black people. You know what I'm saying? So now they boycott the season, right? The playoffs. A lot of money on the table. So what is Michelle Roberts saying? He reportedly told Roberts that I pay your salary and wouldn't let her continue a point about the financial losses the players could see if they choose not to continue the playoffs in an NBA bubble. But apparently, according to some so basically that's what the whole shit was about. So she's sitting there telling these brothers who's already pissed the fuck off, frustrated, don't even want to do this shit, and then telling them, hey, listen, if y'all protest and y'all stop this financial flow of this industry called of the NBA, yo, y'all gonna be fucked up. Y'all gonna be losing this much and that much, and y'all gonna, and it's just like nobody want to hear that.
Yeah. Now the players off the Clippers team, they refuted that it even went that way. So it was like, you know, like when the report came out, you know, people started dissing him or whatever. But then the like players on his team was like putting no cap, like, you know, who makes this shit up like that? Shit didn't go down, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much what they were saying. So,
right.
You know, with them being in a bubble, it's kind of like these reporters, everybody not there, some of them there, but they could kind of make up shit. So it's like, it seemed like that one was more like a, you know, sensationalized shit, you know, like people just trying to grab stories and, you know, make them more than what they was.
Or maybe something tiny, but but you made it.
To your point, it's like, even if it didn't go the way that they said it, her point and what she was saying doesn't change. You know what I'm saying? So you already know that was the pushing point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether he said it that way or not, the pushing point was pretty much him. And I can't speak for him, but what I'm thinking is like, hey, we in the field over here. How you telling us what to do when you ain't in the field? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, you gotta look at the whole story.
Yeah. It's like to me, it's like you about to fight somebody on the block, you know what I'm saying? And then somebody else like, you know, but Smoke, if don't fight because, you know, this you got to worry about. You like, yo, shut the fuck
Get
up.
your teeth knocked
And then they
out.
like, yo,
You gonna
he
get your
said
teeth knocked
shut
out.
up. Yeah.
You gonna
Come on,
get you get your jaw broke.
Yeah, it's like stupid shit.
I gotta
But
do
yo,
it.
before we continue in, let's go ahead and bring in. You there?
You know, I thought them NBA players were schooled on how to interview. All professional.
That's what I thought too.
All professional athletes are schooled. Well, I tell you what, and I'm gonna have to say it like it is. When the league became majority black, team became majority black, they had to, because of what was being said and what it appeared. Just like they told them that they couldn't be sitting on the bench in their club clothes. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when they made them dress up. Yeah. They had to wear the suits and all that.
Yeah. So he shouldn't have said that.
Right.
He shouldn't have said that. But he said it. So, I mean, let's see what happens. Boycotting games is not going to do what they talking about needs to be done.
Nope.
I'll tell you the reason why. They act like it's one police department in the whole country. There's over 18,000 of them. You got police departments in some. Areas that ain't got no black folks in it. Blacks don't make up that much of this country. In 20 states, it's only 20 states where they have 10% of the population, and it's only about 8 states where they have more than 25% of the population. Those are the ones down south. They can't command no state election. You ain't got the people. I mean, that's the reality.
Yeah. You're absolutely right about that. Yeah, definitely right about that.
I know.
Now,
people,
my question.
You know the best thing. What's your name, sir?
For me, Rasta B.
You got cheered because you said your daughter stepped on your card.
You know what? I mean, that was my girl, but no, I got sons. Yeah.
Okay. You know what the best thing you can do? You want to take advice for somebody who's been to the mountaintop and been over the mountaintop. I'm coming back and tell you, because they always say, well, successful blacks don't never come back. The thing that you should do is educate your children to the greatest extent.
Yep.
Exactly.
How many boys you got? Two. Your boy, if you do that, your boys would never have to worry about competition from those blacks. And goddamn, you got whites now that's out there riding and looting. They ain't never going to have to worry about that competition. They have self-eliminated themselves out of competing with your sons.
Yeah.
That's the best thing in the world can happen for your son. Have another one next week.
Exactly.
I mean, think about it, Charles. Come on, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Think about it. If they had something to do, they wouldn't be out there. Wouldn't be out there stealing tennis shoes. You drive by the hangout spot and everybody got on brand new tennis, the same damn color, orange.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's real.
It's crazy.
And now you got dumb whites out there doing this stuff for whatever reason. They dumb. You don't have to worry about competing against them either.
But here's my question.
Right now on NSBE, National Society of Black Engineers, I dare you to go check it out. They got 7,606 STEM-related jobs. They put this advertisement on a black-oriented organization. And last time I talked about it was about 8,400. So they don't drop about 800 of them. But that's what, look at that. And that's telling you the direction in which businesses are going. I don't care if Joe Biden is win and Harris win. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is not going to build no affordable homes in the hood.
No.
They're not going to do that. It
No.
takes private investors to do that. And if they don't want to do it, they're not going to do it. I mean, it's because we're talking about this forever. My goodness, we've been talking about this forever. And it ain't happened. That's because private investors ain't going to do it because it's a risk. And you know damn well it's a risk if people setting shit on fire.
Yeah. And me, I feel like if we take the good thing about us, because we're in the position that we're in, I feel like whatever we do should work because we don't have it. So if you say to yourself, what is the problem in the black community? Well, we have a hard time getting housing. Then that means that's a problem that a black person needs to solve. And so these are things that we need to be in. Because that's what I tell my sons all the time. Anything that you see that there's a problem, I always tell them that means you have to create it yourself. And everything
that's
that you
what
do.
A.G. Gaston said in his book, Green Power. Every morning he woke up, he said, what do my people need today? And he went to work putting it into effect.
Exactly. And we have to get back to that.
Educate your children to the highest extent that you possibly. I don't know how old they are.
7 and 5.
But take them to the process of evaluating what they can do. You know your 5-year-old can't be a Olympic swimmer. Can he be a fullback? Can he be a center? So I'm just throwing it out there. So take them through the process of evaluation.
I already focusing them on being engineers, so they
there
already know
you
that.
Go.
Yeah, my 7-year-old, he already makes. He's really good in computers. He makes his own levels on video games, and I'm showing him about the coding and all that. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm training him up. I'm already told him.
That's what you should do, young man. I'm telling you. Believe me. I never met you, never seen you. Don't have no reason. You don't owe me no money. I owe you no money. Don't have no reason to lie to you.
Right.
But that's what you got to do. And see, all blacks ain't gonna make it. I'm sorry. Blacks as a group in the United States, in general, I ain't saying Pacific. I'm saying in general, is about 60 years behind what you would call a functional ethnic group. In general, I ain't talking about little pockets because you always will have them. You had those back in the 1600s.
Right.
But in general, and what does it take to become a functional member of an ethnic group? You got to have a functional family. You a father. I don't know if your father, I don't know their circumstances, but your father, their grandchildren, the grandfather and grandmother, they provide what you call intergenerational wealth of what they can do, being that they at the point, I guess, of retirement. I'm just saying, that is a tremendous opportunity, a tremendous leverage. That put them ahead of a whole lot of people. Like I told you, I used to give my grandson these examples. These are my last sibling in school. I showed him a pyramid. You see how that pyramid is all wide at the base? And as it get up to the top, it gets narrow, narrow, narrow. Well, see, when you beginning out, you down at the base, and you got all kind of competition down there at the bottom. But the more that you push yourself, the more that you enrich yourself with skills pertaining to that which is in high demand, you start going up that pyramid, and it gets narrow and narrow and narrow. And when you look around, there's a lot less people the closer you get to the top than it was when you began at the bottom.
Exactly.
And what makes you different at the top than what you were at the bottom? Well, it's hard work. I mean, we got examples. Look at LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. I mean, we can use them as examples because they are more readily known. I can name you some more people in other fields, from nuclear medicine, from electrical engineering, from mathematics, from Higgs boson, antimatter. I can name you some blacks that's in those fields, but you don't recognize them as names. You can't relate to them because you don't see them all the time, but they do exist.
Yeah, you'll be amazed. You definitely will be amazed. You'll definitely be amazed.
So you educate your kids, educate your children. You take them to expose them to everything, and let them see and listen to people that's at this top of the pyramid. Let them see and listen to these people. Keep them focused. Get them laptops. My grandson, this is what I got. I got a laptop by the side of my bed. That's my utility laptop. Where when I'm studying something, I use that to study this, that, or the other equation and so forth. Then I got my regular laptop like I'm on now when I'm surfing the internet and so forth. Because I got one by the bed. Because when I'm laying there, I'm still studying. Even at my age. People say, man, even at my age, I'm still taking in information.
All right.
You're not wrong with that.
Yeah. And I teach that to my sons, too. Like, I always tell them,
information is power.
Don't be afraid to learn. You said what's wrong?
No, information is power. The more you know, the better.
And I feel like not only the more you know, you also have to train your child into receiving information and how to dissect it and stuff, because I let my sons know that, you always supposed to want to learn. Like, never not want to learn. Anytime I feel like when we're teaching them or we're showing them something or I'm asking them to break something down, and if it gets to the point where it's like, well, Dad, I don't want to do this anymore, I'll be like, don't do what? The only person that don't want to learn is dead people. And that's how I teach them. So it's like, if you want to stay alive,
that's right.
You got to learn. You know
and make them analyze things. My grandson and Cameron, a classmate of him, took on the state schools. It was their school and another school was the top in the state of Missouri in courtroom debate. And he gave me a synopsis of what the trial was going to be on. And you know what I told him? I say, you stick to the law. Don't let the emotions of this ain't right. No, you stick to the law. And they brought home the trophy. They went against a white school. The rules are already out there. Because that's the rules that the system is going to go by. You can't change the rules, not as a single individual you may, but it's going to be hard as hell.
Yeah.
This latest shooting, people get pissed off when I tell them this. But that guy that got shot, his day did not begin right there.
Yeah.
His day did not begin right there. Right there at that location is a place. What? What about that place, y'all? He wasn't supposed to be there.
The Jacob Blake case, right? Yeah. He wasn't supposed to even be there.
He wasn't supposed to be there. The woman, I don't know, was that her children that he had in the car? I don't know why they went. But she had a court-ordered restraining order against him. He wasn't supposed to be there. Now, there's certain things called cause and effect. And if you do this at mile marker number 1, it's going to affect what happens at mile marker number 10 miles down the road. And I know people are going to say, well, I mean, fact is what it is. Teach your sons. Do your sons respect your authority?
Oh, yeah. I don't play that. I don't play that.
All right. Okay, now you got that's step number 1. How about when they go to school? Do they respect the authority in school?
Oh yeah. Cause my thing, what I told them is, if y'all feel comfortable doing it in the house, then I know y'all gonna do it in the school
There
or
you
outside.
go.
So
Now,
yeah, we
here's
try to
the
keep
third one.
order.
Here's the third one. Do they respect authority in the street?
Authority in the street.
When
Like
I
what?
was a kid, and I'd be walking down the street with my grandfather, and here comes somebody coming the other way. If I didn't say, "How are you doing?" Hello, I got a backhand. Pop! Upside the head. Because I
we
was
don't do
taught.
that. I tell them.
Well, no, you don't do that now.
Yeah.
You know, I tell you something. My grandmother used to maul my head. You know how they do it with the knuckles?
Oh no, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about saying hi to strangers. Yeah.
I'm talking about people walking down the street. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's what I taught man to do.
Yeah.
If you and see, I'm down south now. I'm not now. I'm in Missouri, but down south, people down there do that. They say hello and how you doing? Yes sir, no sir. I'm sorry. That's what they do. That's why I keep telling people black folks ain't all the same. That's a whole different black people down there in the south.
Yeah. Cause I'm from Brooklyn.
And I was in a car place getting my car worked on today, and it was a black woman, and she was talking. And then we was talking about this, that, and the other. Then I asked her, I said, "You from down south, ain't you? You from Mississippi, ain't you?" She said, "Yeah, how you know?" So I can tell the way you talk. Not the way your accent is, but the way you speak on things.
Right.
Now go up to Milwaukee, whole different thing. Go to New York, you won't even recognize the country.
Yeah.
So if it's a police officer or a security guard, and now we already know there's 18,000. If they tell you something, well, do it.
Yeah.
Unless they telling you to do something totally crazy.
Right.
That's what the people in that community pay them for. They are the employees of that community, the people of that community, the ultimate responsibility. Because if they do something wrong, just like if your employer is driving a company truck and go out and run into a mailbox, well, the company is going to be responsible for that, ultimately.
Right.
Not the employee, but the company. It's the company's truck. And the company's employee is driving the company truck.
And I try to explain that too, Bianchi, and that's why I always put so much emphasis on economy, because I try to explain that if we look at what it is and why these things is happening for what it is, then you'll understand the only way to protect ourselves is having an economy. But if we look at it on an emotional level and say, why are these people treating me this way while I'm participating in their economy? It's like you're never going to get it, because these people are working for groups that don't even like you. So when they sick these people on you for whatever action, or they're if you come into their stores and they're like, hey, keep your eye on them because statistically this, and the third, it's happening because they have the power, because you're participating in their economy. But if we have our own economy, we could protect that.
Let me tell you something. If you had your own stores, blacks do the same thing. I'm going to tell you what it is. It ain't your sons. It's somebody that look like your sons don't created that attitude that's being spilled over onto your sons. Hell, if you get smacked upside the head with somebody with a green nose all the time, every time you see them, well, when one walk up to you, what you going to be doing? You're going to be flinching. Not wanting to get knocked in the nose.
Yeah.
Think about it.
No, I agree
and
with
another
that.
point. Let me say this.
Yeah.
Who is your son's hero?
Oh, it better be me.
Your son's hero ain't no George Floyd, ain't no Breonna Taylor, ain't no Jacob Blake. Jacob Blake. Yeah, Jacob Blake.
Yeah.
You know who your son's heroes is? It's you.
Yeah.
You are their hero.
Yep.
Therefore, you cannot be exposing yourself to things that's going to be detrimental to you. Whereas your
Exactly.
sons depend on you, putting yourself at risk of not being there for them.
Right.
You can't be going out to the club.
Nope.
You can't be watching women slide up and down poles and putting dollar bills in their panties.
No.
You can't be messing with drugs.
No.
You can't be hanging out with partners that you get in and say, come on, let's go for a ride. You don't know. Well, hell, man, you don't even have a job. How you get this car? You can't be doing those things.
Yep, in and out of jail.
Because you don't just live for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You got many people that depend on you. At
That's
this
right.
point in your life, and as you get older, the dependency is going to get greater.
Yep.
Because they're going to start venturing out into the waters that they never have experienced before. So they're going to need you as a person to call on to give them assurances if they're doing it right.
Yeah. And I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. Because me and my sons always have conversations, and we keep it, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, my sons are 7 and 5. But we have conversations. Like, we talk, ask them about life, all that shit like that. But I do that because I try to explain to them, like, y'all are supposed to be better versions of me. So whatever y'all don't understand or know, come back here so we can break it down so you can understand it. Because it's very important, and a lot of people don't understand that. Majority of black youth is in the world lost, trying to figure it out, with nobody with real guidance steering them into a direction where they need to go. And I realized that when I looked at the Indians, the East Indians, and I'm like, so all of them is doctors? Like, all of them is doctors? And then I'm like, and then I'm looking at the Chinese, and I'm like, and all of them got businesses, and all the Puerto Ricans got corner store. But then you see blacks, entertainment, sports, and then you look at what we push our children in, and it's like,
that's because of bad politics. What city are you in?
Atlanta.
You see, you down in the water. You got port down there. What's the port? Seaport. You got a seaport. Atlanta's on the ocean. Georgia.
Like Savannah. Yeah, Savannah.
Take your children, take your boys down there, and let them watch those ships come in with all those containers on.
Yeah.
Explain to them what's in those containers and where they coming from.
I need to do that. I do that with them with construction. When they're building
good.
stuff, I tell them, I say, y'all not the guys building the stuff. Y'all the guys who designed this. And y'all hired these guys to build this stuff. So I was explaining
I'm going to tell you another
that.
thing. I'm going to tell you another thing I want you to take your sons to. And if you need me, I'll help pay for it. Every year at the Georgia Dome, they have the International Food Processing and Poultry Expo. It runs several days. It's going to be in January. Take your sons there. Take your sons there.
Yeah, what's the name of that one?
So they can see all the mechanism that's required to produce what it is that they're consuming.
Right.
They don't. Right. You won't see. You won't hardly see. You see blacks there. They from Africa, but you won't see none there hardly from America. I never have seen in America black Americans. I've seen them there working the booths for particular colleges like Tuskegee and Alcorn.
Right.
But as far as
put that on the calendar.
Walking around, make sure you go to that. I'm telling you, man. see, you young enough to do it. I can't walk. You can't see it all in one day, but you can see a lot of it. I know I can't cover all that one day. It's just too large. It's too huge. And I hope they have it this year, even with the COVID. But if they don't, this year, you make sure you take them to see that. You take them down there to the port in Savannah and let them see them ships come in. Let them see them ships stop about 20 miles out. Then tugboats go out and bring them in. And explain to them why they have to have tugboats. Because they're so huge, they can't stop on a dime.
Right. Oh, yeah. Because I want them to be exposed to all of that. I'm trying to build a strong lineage. You know, I want to be, like I always joke and talk to my friends about, I want to be Joe Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
You see? I want to be Joe Kennedy. So those who
That's
know,
what you got to do.
Understand what that means, yeah.
you know, it's so many opportunities out here.
Exactly.
And I got to always put in a plug for my president. I don't care what nobody says. That's the best president I ever seen in my life. And I've been around a long time. that man is something else now. He's for making America strong. He wants your children to participate in it also.
Exactly.
You do. All that other crap that these people are talking about don't amount to a hill of a bean. The man is not no politician. He's learned a whole lot. He came a long way.
Yeah.
I have a good heart, but for me to get up there and speak the language of the lawyers in the courtroom, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna say, look, goddamn it, you know damn well this man is innocent. Where's the proof?
Right.
That's how I would probably have to end up saying it.
Exactly. And you know who's gonna complain? The prosecutor's gonna complain, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, listen how he's speaking. Why is he talking? That's not how a lawyer speaks." Yeah, they're gonna all complain because you're not doing it the way the script is done. But that doesn't mean, and the people are gonna appreciate that, and there are gonna be a lot of hurt feelings come November. It's gonna be a lot. It is. November.
And explain your children if you have to get somebody, explain them how stocks work, how options work.
Oh, that's already in their future. That's already in their future. While these other
teach them about commodities, sugar, coffee, wheat.
Yeah.
Teach them about them commodities. How a barge up in Minnesota on the Mississippi River can start up there with a load of wheat, and by the time it get down to Savannah, it could have been sold 4 or 5 times to different people. That's the way it works. People in Minnesota pay one price for it. As it come down, they sell it and make a profit. The people that buy it, as it come down, they sell it and make a profit. Sometimes they may hold it up. Yeah. Why do they hold the barge up? They hold it up because the market prices, the world prices dictate that they wait one more day and the price will go up a little more. That's how it works.
Yeah,
and that's my whole thing. If we really knew the game, and that's why I don't blame the people, I blame leadership. Because if we really knew the game and leadership was really playing the game for the people, as talented as black people are, even in the conditions that we are in right now, we're supposed to run America.
Well, yes, to a certain extent. To a certain extent. You know how you get people to believe you on that? You produce it in your boys.
Exactly.
You know, people believe what I say about buildings because I can take them, point to downtown St. Louis. I say, you see them buildings over my shoulder that's sticking up in the air? A black man put those up. Not being Pacific ones, not all of them, but being Pacifics, which we really don't have to get into. And they say, yeah. I say, yeah, you're talking to her.
Exactly.
That's what's up.
So if you want people to believe you, do it with your boys.
Yeah.
And then, see, you tell your sons to make you proud. Your children are supposed to make the family proud. They're not supposed to let the family down.
Exactly.
Make us proud.
Exactly.
I was working with a young Nigerian woman, and I was taking her to take care of some tax matters. And it was some Nigerian couple over there, and they got to talking back and forth. And she was telling them what she's trying to do, and so on, so on, so on. And when we got ready to leave, the couple hollered out to her and said, "Make us proud. Make us proud."
Yeah. Yeah. Man, and we
so
don't
anyway,
realize
I'm gonna let you.
we don't realize
Go ahead,
that
I'm sorry.
mentality, how far it could take your family. Like, we literally don't understand that because we get so defeated. We get so defeated that we start to believe that how we feel is how the child feels. And I would listen to women talk, and they'll say things like, "Well, he's not going to want to do that." And I'm like, how do you know?
Oh, yeah,
like,
they do that.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
And it ends up shutting a lot of these kids because they want them to grow up in a environment of cookies and cake and ice cream. Like, because this child
don't work like that.
They're vegetables and shit. There's no discipline and structure. So, and that's what the child wants. So then when the child ends up doing what they quote unquote want to do, it's not productive because it's too easy. And that's why it's important to have both parents, because when that father's in there issuing structure, then that child knows I can't slack. So they have no choice but to move right in the Zach.
You're absolutely right. It's a hierarchy in a family. It always have it's the male. I don't care what the man is supposed to be the head of the household.
That's
now
it.
you got some alternative type of living that's going on. It's perfectly fine. But you run your house, and see, if you and your wife have problems, always know this, that those kids come first.
Exactly.
Y'all work them problems out, and don't do anything that's going to deny those children from being able to pursue their highest potential.
Exactly.
Because you never want to get someplace in the future where you look back and say, I wish I had her. You don't want to do that. That's a terrible feeling.
Yeah.
I wish I had her.
Especially when you're talking about why. So it's like, I broke up my family because I wanted to screw the girl across the street. So now my family breaks up. Now my son's them isn't around me as much. She gets somebody else. This person might abuse my kids, or they might just grow up in an environment where now they caught up in the streets, and I'm trying, all because I wanted to screw a girl across the street. Nah, they ain't make no sense. Worry about your children and build your family.
Worry about your children.
Distracted.
When you leave that household, you and your wife, make sure that y'all hug each other.
Yeah.
I don't care what the attitude is. You make sure you hug your wife. Wife, you make sure you hug your husband. Hug your kids. Once again, you don't want to get to the point where you say to yourself, I wish I could hug her one more time.
Exactly.
Sure.
And see, that happened to me. My wife passed away in 2008. And I wish I could have hugged her one more time.
Wow. God bless, man.
Yeah, okay.
And that was my 10-year-old neighborhood sweetheart. We still married. She's just not here.
Right. That's deep.
So anyway, I just wanted to pass that on to you because I've taken a liking to you two brothers. And sometimes I think some of the conversations y'all be having, you be wasting time. Trying to save the whole damn black community. You ain't gonna be able to do that, man. Them people drive you crazy. People tried this forever, and they continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. I'd be damn here sharpening them in D.C. marching again. Yeah, but
Yeah,
let
I
them
read
do that. Don't worry about that. Let them do that.
that.
It's those two boys you got is going to be your shining grace. Teach them how to
Right.
maneuver in the world, in the neighborhood, what to look out for. When they get ready to come out of the store, don't just walk right out the store. Stop and look around.
That's right. You
Yeah.
go through the whole
Where your
process.
car parked? Who is that
Yeah.
car next to yours? Tell your wife that. Who is in that car next to you? You got three guys in that car next to yours. What they
Yeah.
up to? Don't be chancing it.
Right.
Please don't chance it. If you get ready to go on the gas station and you see some people huddled and they seem like they're arguing, go on down to the next gas station.
Exactly.
It ain't worth it.
Take it next.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're driving down the street and you know you got idiots out here and you got the green light, slow down and look both ways before you go through that green light.
Yeah.
Nowadays, when you're driving down the street, you come to the middle of a block where an alley is, you got to slow down and make sure they don't come out the alley and go across the street to the other alley on the other side without stopping. Somebody behind you that's want you to move faster, just pull over and let them go by. Don't even look at them. Just let them go by. Then go on where you're going. I guarantee you meet them two red lights down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time. Every time.
When the car, you in line, you stopped at a red light, light turned green, and the cars in front of you start off, before you go, say 1, 2, 3. Then you go.
Yeah.
So those things you just have to do to be safe. And try to live another day. Your sons need you. Hey, we need you. I like listening to you. I don't know what I'd do without you.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that.
All right, fellas, I'm going to let you go ahead back to your show. I'm sorry for taking up so much of your time.
Oh, no, it's always
appreciate it.
Always gems that you
All right,
drop.
now.
All right,
y'all take care.
All right.
Peace.
And that is always Brother PMP. And for any black men, black women, definitely black women out there who was curious or interested in something that the Pianki has said. It's called NSBE, the National Society of Black Engineers. Summer Engineers Experience for Kids. It's a SEEK program. So you go to seek.nsbe.org. And then you'll see this. If you can't find it, then just put National Society of Black Engineers. And then you will see it. Okay, so yeah, but what Pianki said is something that I totally agree with. It's like you have to teach it to your children. It kills me. This would always kill me, Smoke, because you got to understand. I grew up in the environment, like the pro-black environment, with you know what I'm saying, going to the rallies and stuff like that. Like I said, when Mandela came home from apartheid, he was doing his, traveling the world. When he came to New York, he was in Brooklyn, and then he went to Harlem. So when we went to Brooklyn first, it was like he was on the stage, but it was already packed, and he was in the back. So then, and this is before cell phones, you know what I'm saying? And however, my mother got the word that, he's going to be in Harlem too. We didn't even have no car. We jumped on the train, right, from Brooklyn, and then we going all the way to Harlem, right? So we on the train and shit. I got the red, gold, and green flag, holding the flag up on the train, you know what I'm saying? I'm probably like, I don't know, maybe 9 years old, 7 years old, something like that, 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, Yeah. So, um, so they all them and shit. So now they just setting up the area with the barricades and all kind of shit like that. But the way they got the barricades, they got it a barricade where the people gonna be at, and then they got like um, horizontally, and then they got some barricades in columns, spaced out, and then got another set of barricades horizontally, so making squares in the front, like a buffer between that and the police. So we're children. So my mother, she like, yo, I don't want y'all back over here. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear the speech. I'll hear him talk, and I don't want to just worry about y'all. So she picked us up and put us over the barricade, right, in the empty square part. So the police like, you can't do that. So she, my mother, she was rebellious, and she like, yo, like, Babylon, and all of that, 'cause she Rasta. So she like, Babylon, fire burn, and the children can stand here because and the crowd and whatever. So the police like, all right, lady, stay here. So they let us stay. So we basically front row, watching and listening to Mandela talk. You know what I'm saying, and shit like that. So what I noticed growing up, it's the ideology, and it's the dream of this black utopia and Mecca that you want is really predicated around adults and women, grown women, young women, not young like underage, but young like young college girls, and men, and it's all this dream shit, you know what I'm saying, and baby making and fucking, what I'm saying, type shit like that. And lack of resource, strong poverty, and it's like the use becomes the system. So when I was young, I used to say to myself, like, well, damn, if we just need money and we got to have economy, then like how would any of this work? You get what I'm saying? Like, how would it work for us in the system if we're trying to stay away from the system, right? I never understood that as a kid, right? So then, because one of the questions was, it was like, well, let's get some money since black people like to drink alcohol. Shit, let's control the alcohol market, and we all buy liquor stores. And I remember when the conscious people, quote unquote, used to be like, no, we shouldn't do that because we're selling poison to our people. And it was like, all right, cool. But now you got the Chinese lock down that whole market and the Arabs lock down that whole market to sell the same poison to your people. Where you could have at least had control over that market, over that dollar. We have no control. Then I would see a lot of the adult men who have these children, they'll be Rasta, but then their children bald head. Or they'll be talking this conscious shit, but their kids gangbanging. And I used to be like, damn, how you talking all of this, but we should be doing type shit like that, but your children is fucking terrorists in the street. So it's like, before we talk about nation building and talk about what the whole collective should do, you should like, instead of being the leader of a people, you should be the leader of your household. And your followers should be your children. And if you raise them up correctly and properly and right and exact within the ideology that you have, then guess what? We have a whole new generation of righteous young men and young women to lead black people forward. But let's stop not investing this into our children, having them adopt this white man's ideology and system, his anti-black views and viewpoints, and then wanting your children to quote-unquote live the easy route, so you allow them to participate in everything that this Babylonian system have set up for you. So now you're like, oh, okay, the system's wrong, but I'm going to dress my child up to be a police officer for, like, you get what I'm saying, Smoke? I'm going to dress my child up to be a police officer on Halloween while I'm screaming Black Lives Matter and and the injustice of, black men getting shot. It's like, no. When we raising our children up, we have to raise them up to be militant. And we have to raise them up to be race first. When I say militant, I don't mean militant like, they breaking down guns and all kind of shit, but militant as in discipline. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't got time, young black boy, to be crying in the corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, get your ass up and come over here and be active and productive in your community. You don't have time, you little black girl, to be caught up in a fucking mirror. Get over here and learn something. You know what I'm saying? And be productive in your community. Right. Like, we don't got that luxury right now. We got to build. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't got that urgency, Smoke.
Yeah, learning got to be cooler.
Yeah.
It got to be cooler. It got to be standard. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you don't see that in, like, even, with black kids. It's like, they playing the video game or, they don't read books or, you know what I'm saying? It's just thing like that. And then you just got to look at yourself as a parent. You know what I'm saying? Because we all fall into it, like, you working hard and you want to break, and then you're not paying attention to your kid. You know what I'm saying? I done fell into that too. You know what I'm saying? But these are the times that go by fast. You know what I mean? It goes by quick. Next thing you know, they're teenagers. You know what I'm saying? And then they don't have any certain, type of understanding. You know what I'm saying? The main thing, like, I try to teach to my son is, like, just, like having confidence in himself. You know what I'm saying? And being able to like, voice his, his displeasure with something. You know what I mean? So, like, I know me growing up as a kid, I might have not, it took me maybe longer to be like, oh, I'm going to say something. Damn this. I got to say something. I might have, as a younger kid. So I say, well, if father like son, my son probably the same way. He might be more timid when he don't like something or something like that. So I try to teach him to, like, be confident in your answer and also speak out about it. So, like, one day, he going to school or whatever, at the YMCA, so the, I guess one of the counselors or whatever you call them, he like, hey, man, I want to ask you something. He's like, I want to tell you something or whatever. So I'm like, all right. He's like, hey, man. He like, Josiah, man, I gotta give him his props. He's a little white dude, you know what I'm saying? He's like, I gotta give him his props, man. He was like, Josiah pulled him over, like, yo, man, pretty much like, I don't like something that's popping. Can I meet with you in your office? He like, he went in there and, told him whatever it was that he ain't like. Basically how the counselors be treating kids or something, something like that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I was just proud for him, like, you know what I mean, to just be able to voice yourself. But it's just things like that, and like even with Pianki mentioning the engineering program and things like that, you just got to keep them active and not keep them, not just fall in the trap of allowing them to just choose. Because if they just choose what they want to do or what they want to eat, they're gonna just have fun all day.
But you know what? It's not even about having fun all day, because guess what? Anything that you throw at them, if you ever watch it and pay attention, it is going to be fun to them. But it's something that you said that's important. Yeah, but it's something that you said that's important. That confidence. That's hard. You see what I'm saying? That's not something
you ain't lying.
Yeah, that's hard. So it's like there's a lot of kids who's really out here with no confidence. So they might be overcompensating themselves doing shit because you know what I'm saying? Because they're scared to talk up. Because these qualities you have to teach and enforce. These are qualities that you have to pull out your child. You know what I'm saying? That's paying attention. Yeah, the other shit.
Drill that shit into them. I mean, it's still a work in progress. You know what I'm saying? It's still things where it's like, yo, remember, say something. Because even if I try to do that with him, so we can have open conversations. So I'm like, well, if you don't like something I'm doing, don't be afraid to be like, hey, Dad, let me tell you something. You know what I mean? And it's mostly like if I react to him a certain way. You know what I mean? Like I might have said something that, in my mind, it wasn't harsh, but it might have been, for him, it might have been too harsh. You know what I mean? And a few times he done been like, yo, I ain't like that. And I apologize to him. I mean, the message I was trying to fucking relate to him is still the same, but sometimes, you know what I mean? But I just want him to be able to say, like, I ain't feeling this. We can't do this, you know what I'm saying? Or I want, just have that confidence in himself and shit, you know what I mean?
Because I'm going to tell you
stand up for himself.
I'm going to tell you what happens. It's going to seem like he timid doing that around you, but it ain't going to be like that in school. Now in school, it's like, listen, none of y'all going to be talking to me crazy because Pops, you know what I'm saying? He just said some shit that pissed me off, so none of y'all about, because that's how my sons are. My son's like that, you know what I'm saying? And they, like I said, they 5 and 7, but me, I grew up with, in a single parent home, but my mother was rough. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was one, I fall and bust my knee bleeding and shit, and she like, yo, dust that shit off and keep walking. And you like, oh, goddamn.
Yeah, my pops was like that.
Yeah, so that's how my mother was. So that's how I am with my sons and shit like that. It's more so like when they young, I used to be like, I'm talking about, when I say young, I'm talking about 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen. Ain't no crying, ain't none of this. You know what I'm saying? Listen up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, from day one. And I used to always I used to tell my son, I don't care if I'm yelling at you, yo. If you got something that you got to say, you better say it. So I'll be like, he'll be like, well, Dad, I got something I got to say. I'm like, what? What is it? Well, I just want to know why, you know what I'm saying? And we'll still be talking, having the same conversation and shit like that, but I'll be telling him, and my girl, she'll be like, oh, I don't like how you talk to him because you talk to him like they're grown. And I told her, listen, these boys going to be going to public school. They're going to be dealing with black women.
Yeah, you're not going to be afraid to talk to you, though.
Exactly. They're not about to get their feelings.
Come to you like, well, shit, I ain't worried about him yelling at me. He yell at me all the time.
Yeah.
Just have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
See where
and you know what everybody
say
come talk to you about it. When they interact with my sons, they always say, yo, the way they talk, the way they just have conversations with you, like their confidence, the way they can just, I've never seen the children, like I said, 5 or 7.
Let me ask you a question, because I never did this, but did you, like when they were little, did you baby talk them, or you always talk like how Mary?
Oh, hell no. I always talk regularly. It's something to that, you know what I'm saying? Just talking to the kid regular. Like, this is what you're going to have to understand one day. All of the, and doing all of that to communicate with them, it's like, they don't really be understanding that anyway. But
it's like, it's something to that, like,
I talk to them
doing shit like that.
We was watching Malcolm X documentaries, watch riots, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I teach my sons all of that shit because I always let them know, listen, this is the real America. This is what it is. This is what you're fighting against. This is what you're trying to do. Now, it's going to seem good at times, but never take your eyes off the prize, yo. We are an unprotected class. We are at the bottom of this race. We are not equal and cannot unless we get on this certain type of level. So I need you to be in a position of power and strength at all times. And I always teach my sons that. Power and strength at all times. You know what I'm saying? So
be in a position of power.
Got to. Because at the end of the day, look at the NBA players, right? Now, I found it funny that they boycotted for Jake Blake during the playoffs and stopped playing, but didn't do that during Donald Sterling. Remember we talked about that, right?
Right, yeah.
Now watch the breakdown. So they did it for one day, right? And now they got the playoffs going back on, right?
Yeah, sorry,
And who was the person behind the scenes pulling that strings to get that shit on track?
Obama.
Oh, it was Obama?
Well, it's like a whole story of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, it started with the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks, they local to that whole, to the Jake Blake shooting. It's like it happened not too far from where they play or whatever. So it started with them. They pretty much made their own decision. Like, yo, we close to it. It was supposed to be like
wait! Breaking news. Chadwick Boseman dead, yo.
What?
Yeah, Chadwick Boseman, who gained fame from starring role in Black Panther, has died of cancer, they saying.
So I know he was looking skinny when I saw him.
Yeah.
Last time I saw him, I was like, yo, son, they say he lost weight for like a movie role or something. Damn, son. Black Panther, rest in peace. God damn.
Fast. Dealing with that Hollywood life. Yeah, so Chadwick Boseman is out of here. R.I.P. to that brother. Oh, shit. Yeah. So, damn, yeah. So, like I said, so you do have to instill that shit to your children and shit like that. Really and truly, because you don't want to waste their years on this earth.
Damn, that shit kind of threw me off.
Yeah, that was shit. Yeah, I looked at the shit. I was like, damn, that was crazy.
Well, yeah. Damn. What were we talking about? The basketball. So you was asking who was trying to get that shit on track.
Yeah.
Well, I seen an article with Obama, but they had Jordan in the mix. I think that's more what you were referring to.
I just want to lean more to because the other funny part is what?
A league player. I mean, somebody in the league, owner.
When it was Donald Sterling, right? And they could have boycotted. It was like, rumbling about the whole playoff shit, you know what I'm saying? When they should have boycotted, they walked off.
Right.
Shit came back, and what happened? Who was behind the scenes of that one?
Mike was on that too.
Nah, that was Magic.
Magic was trying to Magic. You're right. Magic was trying to. They was trying to get the team at that point. If I ain't mistaken, he was trying to angle to take it over, but he didn't. He couldn't.
Yeah. Like I'm like, why step in if you ain't getting nothing out this shit? He ain't gonna Dodge. Maybe he angry for the Dodgers or some shit like that. But fuck out of here, yo. I'd have been like, yo, they ain't playing, yo, unless I get the fucking team straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Ballman, Steve Ballmer, I think that's his name. His group ended up buying that. Yeah.
I'd have been like straight up. They ain't playing unless you give me the team. They want to play for a black owner. If there's no black owner, they're tired of playing for white owners. They want to play for a black owner. Straight up. I would have just nobody playing. Fuck it. It's over. The game's over. Shit. Fuck out of here. But just like the lady said, Michelle Roberts, the financial impact that y'all couldn't face if y'all don't play, that lets you know when you hear people say, why these athletes ain't, why these rappers don't, why these niggas don't be spending all this. You know why? Because they just as broke as you is. If you don't move your feet, then I don't eat. If you don't move your feet, then I don't eat.
Yeah.
They just as broke as you is.
Yeah, this whole when I seen the boycotts, because I was saying before, like it started with the Milwaukee Bucks. They, from my understanding or what I'm seeing, is like they jumped the program and canceled their game. Like, you know, we're not doing that, all this going on. But it was talks behind the scenes to, you know, pause protest or boycott the games or whatever. But the Milwaukee Bucks, they jumped the gun, said, you know, we doing it, forget the talks. Because my understanding, the players from there reached out to, like, because Chris Paul and LeBron, they, like, you know, pretty much like Chris Paul, he, like, one of the heads of the Players Association, and, like, you know, LeBron, he, like, kind of the de facto head of the league, kind of, sort of. So it was like people was reaching out to them, they didn't reach back. So they just made a decision to you know, not play the game or whatever.
Right.
When that happened, I saw something afterwards. I'm like, oh, they boycotting the game, and then I see something after the league decides to postpone the games, and I'm like, all right, this seems like it's more like it's like an orchestrated. Like, I mean,
right.
All boycotts will be orchestrated, but it's like both sides is kind of like, okay, we can do this. The league not resisting, and the players is just doing. Because it was talking.
No. Not that the league's not resisting. The league can't resist. It's behind. It's caught up because you're already supporting Black Lives Matter.
Right.
And you're already support. See, so it'd be weird for you not.
Exactly.
So you're already caught in a jam already.
Exactly.
Because I thought it was real weird.
Messages on the jerseys and you know, all that tough stuff, the kneeling during the games and all that stuff like that. So yeah,
the fakeness is we're in 100% support of the peaceful protesters. We just condemn and disavow the violent protesters, but we are in complete support of our players. Because we're partners. If the team doesn't want, we're partners in this. We're not owners. We're partners. I don't know who said it. It was one of the team owners, right? Said that shit. He was like, because we're partners, and you know, and if us as a whole group decides this, and I'm like, no, you have no choice. Y'all are at the mercy of players. And the players is at the mercy of debt.
Yeah.
You hear what I'm saying? The owners are at the mercy of the fucking players. But the players don't have any fucking power because they're at the mercy of debt. And the person, so they need the fucking owners at the end of the day. So they can't even fucking put their foot on their neck. Because if they put their foot on their neck too fucking long and too hard, debt is going to crumble them. Think about that shit. That shit is fucking insane. That shit is fucking insane. That's the reason why the woman Michelle Roberts could go inside them that they shouldn't protest and stop the game and show some type of fucking powers and shit like that of who they are. And not just fucking robots on the fucking court. No, they can't show that because financially it would crumble you. But why would it crumble me financially? Because you're living in debt. So you're dependent upon what they said. Smoke. Once a basketball player get out the league for 5 years, they broke.
Yeah, it's something like that, you know, pretty much.
Right?
You don't really see niggas build wealth.
They're living in debt. So these people right here can never have power over the owners. Because even this is 2 times. The first time was Donald Sterling, where they could have sat there, Magic Johnson, they not playing unless they can play for a black owner. That shit got to come to me. Are they not playing? You understand? They could have did that shit. But no, they convinced him. Okay, if he ain't off the team next year, then they not gonna play. Come on, man. You gave the power back to the fucking.
This is why the whole shit is orchestrated. This is why the whole shit is just some shit niggas doing. You know what I mean? Again, the plan of it got thrown off when, in my opinion, when the Milwaukee Bucks just went on their own. They went gung ho on their own and said, we're not gonna play this thing, and it kind of threw off what everybody was trying to do behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan, he the liaison, he the de facto liaison between the owners and the players. And so, like, what I'm noticing is everything is agenda. You know what I'm saying? Because the Players Association, all other cats like that, they want to look good now. You know what I'm saying? It's that time. LeBron never been a big speaker. He always avoided shit. But now he's speaking on things. So now it's only right for him to spearhead this whole we boycotting. They took that away from him by the Milwaukee Bucks doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? First, they kind of took that away from him. So, like, for a lot of the reports are showing, like, he was kind of pissed off behind that because he wanted to comment. He wanted to lead that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's his agenda that's going on in that case because, you know, it's like, I mean, for anybody who watch basketball and really, like, LeBron, he's trying to cement his legacy. So he's trying to do extra shit that's like, you know, at the end of the day, this is all part of my stats. I dig, you know what I mean? And what a better way of becoming a legendary. He was already legendary, not to take nothing away from him, but, like, to become, like, on Ali status, then to take, you know, to take hold of this moment right here. That's what separates him from Jordan if he come out and say, yeah, I led these boycotts and, you know, things like that happen. But like you say, the financial impact, everybody know that they don't want to do that because they would have been done it. They would have been done it. LeBron is not going to lose. When Nike start calling and these people, he's not going to lose that money like that. The playoffs, all right, cool. That's LeBron's standpoint. So he's playing on his agenda. The league, a bunch of players is hurt. That's good players. They take a few days off. There's going to be like 5 days by the time they come back. Take a few days. Some of them players going to come back. That's going to make the matchups more interesting. A lot of the games been during the week at 1 o'clock in the day. So now we're going to push them games to Saturday where everybody's home watching them shit. They ain't at work, working from home. They can watch the games and all that. That's going to push viewership up. So all of this is like part of the plan that I'm seeing. I'm like, it's just like, they've been going real. 2020, like you say, your vision should be clear as to what's going on. And so now, like, this was like the first day, you know, you start hearing stuff like that or whatever. So, like, the second day, third day where they, you know, they coming into, like, you know, basically they're going to come back. They're not, you know, they're not going to cancel the season. They're going to come back. They were saying that, you know, there was a call in which LeBron, you know, there's a bunch of players and teams on the conference call or whatever. You know, he kind of tried to take over the call. Other players didn't like that. They had a vote, you know, on the teams of who wanted to come back, and only the 2 LA teams voted to not come back. Right. Like, okay, that's the play. That's the save face for LeBron. You know what I mean? He can't vote against it. He's the face of the league. He can't vote against it. We was all with the, you know, Black Lives Matter movement. He can't go and he can't be on the team that votes against the boycott in this case. You know what I'm saying? But we all know that none of them want to do that shit. So it's all a play. So now they said, I saw something earlier today where they said it was an article on CBS Sports, and speaking of, the title is Barack Obama advised LeBron James, Chris Paul to finish NBA postseason per report. So after that call, you know, he supposedly stormed off. The LA teams, you know, they stormed out. We're not playing, you know, we're leaving or whatever. So allegedly this is coming after that point, you know, people trying to speak to LeBron or whatever. So the article is like, LeBron James, Chris Paul, and a small group of players spoke to Barack Obama on Wednesday to discuss the fate of the 2019-20 NBA season, according to Shams Charania of The Athletic. With the season hanging in the balance, Obama reportedly advised them to play and utilize the opportunity to contextualize action they want in order to play, according to Sharania. They also discussed forming a committee for player action with the hope that Obama would be involved in some capacity. The players ultimately decided to finish the season Thursday morning. The call itself took place after Wednesday's heated players' meeting in which James, Los Angeles Lakers, and Kawhi Leonard led Los Angeles Clippers initially voted not to finish the season. James was reportedly frustrated by Milwaukee's unilateral decision not to play and would have preferred that they had communicated the plan to the Players Association so that they could have come up with a union-wide approach. Bucks guard George Hill admitted during Wednesday's meeting that he sparked the conversation about sitting out during pregame, according to Sharania, and a number of Bucks did the pregame warm-ups expecting to play. And this is going to go further on. Let me just read this part. Next part is James wanted a direct plan for what sitting out would accomplish, and while the league and NBPA announced plans to form a social justice coalition and turn arenas into voting centers, James still made it clear to owners that he expects the league to continue work towards racial justice and helping poor communities after the season ends. So here come the Democratic narrative that's attached to this shit. So they all using this moment to push their shit. The NBA want to get in better position to air the game so people will watch the game. LeBron trying to cement his legacy as a player by using this fake opportunity to act like he was going against some shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Obama. Obama's speaking to them. Now they turning this shit into voting centers. So now they basically all setting this shit up so we can go vote. Make sure you get out there and vote for not Trump. You know what I'm saying? Don't vote for him. Vote for the Democrats. We setting up the player centers. They want a coalition that's basically gonna I guess be mandated through the league, but they're gonna work on these type of social issues and shit like that. But the main shit that I've been seeing is people talking about voting. They had the guy from the Indianapolis Colts, the quarterback, Jacoby Brissett. He done set up some shit to sign his whole team up to vote. Like, he got everybody on the team signed up to vote from top to bottom. This is all this is, like, everybody's just taking a narrative. So it's like we looking at it like, people being powerful, and it goes back to the point that you said. Financially, they strapped by that shit. So this shit is not even real. It's not even real. And again, 2020 been showing us everything. It don't stop. This is another fake. This is another fake
clear.
Situation, man.
It should be clear as day. You know what I'm saying? It should be clear as day, and that's why I'm just like, I don't blame the people. Because there's people out there who probably will hear this and be like, oh, y'all full of shit. Just like I said, I'm listening, Smoke, to March 13th show. I posted it on the YouTube, in Black America Radio on YouTube. And I'm listening to me talking, and I'm like, I'm saying, yo, this shit is airborne. It's in the air. Like, all of this touching the table and all this other shit. Like, just wash your hands. Like, And now, in August, going into September, they talking about, oh, this shit is airborne. I've been saying that shit in March. So it's just like, you start to realize that depending on the system, believing in the system, all of that shit is bogus. All the shit that's sitting around and shit like that. Oh, we need to do what? March and do what? All the marching is connected to voting. All the protesting is connected to voting. And I'm talking both sides. Both sides. You got the white boys now on the right, they arming up and they damn to combat the protesters on the left. You know what I'm saying? And before I continue, let me say this. That 26 children was rescued in a Georgia sex trafficking sting.
Wow.
Yeah, they're saying that it's called Operation Not Forgotten. They helped locate nearly 40 missing kids. Yeah, the 2-week operation. They found 39 missing children. They're saying one as young as 3 years old. So that's for some of the real shit that's going on out here in America, you know. But oh yeah. So yeah, but so that's the whole shit, Smoke. It's just like at the end of the day, it's just crazy and shit because if we don't take this thing serious, like I said, for another 500 years, 1,000, 2,000 years, we'll be dealing with this dumb shit. And me personally, and something that Bianchi said that is true, you don't worry about everybody else. You don't worry about what all black people doing. That's not your concern. Those black people that's not doing the right shit, their lineage is called dead leaves. And what happens to dead leaves? It falls off the tree. You have to make sure that you're part of that new green leaf that's growing out. You need to be that leaf, and make sure that it's a healthy leaf. You know what I'm saying? So, even you as a parent, you could be somebody in and out of jail and shit like that, and just trying to get started into the game of working and all kind of shit like that. You don't say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to be the one to lead the people and lead the race to the promised land and have monuments built for me and all kind of shit. No. You look at your child and you say, you're going to be better than me. And this is how you're going to be better than me. And make that a reality. Make that a reality. Sit there and say to yourself, you know what? Because let me tell you something. Me, I have horrible grammar. Horrible grammar. But my sons, they can't ain't around the house. They can't ain't. They can't walk around. Dad, I ain't never said. I correct all of that shit. We don't ain't. Yeah, we don't correct all of that shit. Word up.
My son will do that to me. I'll be like, yo, chill.
Yeah. I correct all of that shit. And I got horrible grammar. Horrible speech.
That's why you the daddy.
Exactly.
I know what you need. I know what you need.
Yeah, you have to make yours better, yo. Because let me tell you, it's real out here. That 17-year-old white boy who shot them other 2 white people and shit. Yo, you got to remember, this is a 17-year-old white boy. How he got there? Who he was a part of? Where his parents at? Why they not asking these questions? Why they not talking about where his parents at? Unless I'm missing that part of the story. You dig what I'm saying? Why they ain't saying that? But when you see shit like that, you're not supposed to get mad. You're not supposed to get angry. You know what you're supposed to say? You're supposed to say, their militias work with the police. They have members in their militias as young as 17. When their militia is walking with a gun, the police drives right past them. And guess what else, Smoke? that people should have said too. Did you see the video when he did the shooting?
I saw some of that shit. Where they had him on the ground and he shot the guy.
Yeah. Did you see when he was walking towards the police?
Yeah, I saw that.
All right. Now watch this.
This was electric.
Remember I said to y'all, watching those protests, right? Or the George Floyd protests, right? Remember I said, yo, these are some strange protests, yo. Protesters. I said you have one group of protesters that's quote unquote nonviolent. You have another set of protesters that's quote unquote violent. And then you have this third group of protesters that seem like they're policing the protesters. And every time the police would approach them, they always throw their hands up. Like hands up, not hands up, don't shoot. 'Cause I think that was all the way up, right? But they had their hands up, like in a retreat. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And that's the same position or pose that white boy had. That's the same pose. When he was walking and shit like that, and the police were coming out there, he put his hands up. He put his hands up in the same pose, yo. It's all of them protesters that was doing the same shit during them George Floyd. You see what I'm saying? I'm looking at this shit, yo, and I'm just like, yo, who is this third group of fucking protesters that keep holding their hands up? Like, and every time they do that shit, police don't fuck with them. Like, even when they pushing and shit like that, if they pushing and you see them put their hands up, the police never touch them. And I was like, this shit is so strange. It's so strange. So when I saw the white boy do that shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, interesting. That's some police code type shit. You know what I'm saying? That's some police code type shit. But yeah, they shot their own people and shit. Just to show you, you know what I'm saying? This day war. This day argument. Because really and truly, again, like I said, they know they people. We talking about what happens. They know they people. That's the only reason why these white people are doing that, because they seeing what's happening. It's disgusting. And the reason why they putting a stop to it, because they know if we allow y'all to do it to them, y'all going to feel comfortable to do it to us. Right? Now watch this. Florida okays $4.65 million payout for beaten by staff that paralyzed an inmate named Cheryl Weimar, Weimar. Right? It's a white woman. So this is the Miami Herald, August 26, 2020. Cheryl Weimar name is known in prison circles as an example of the few rights and little dignity inmates have in the Florida prison system. Weimar, 51, was brutally attacked by guards at Lowell Correctional Institution and paralyzed as a result. For the past year, Weimar has remained in prison, bound to a special hospital bed, and depends on catheters, medical breathing assistance, and tracheostomy or whatever, and feeding tubes. Meanwhile, her attorneys were building a federal civil rights lawsuit on her behalf. On Tuesday, Weimar case was ordered closed. According to the settlement agreement provided to the Miami Herald by the Department of Financial Services, she will be paid $4.65 million, possibly the largest such settlement from the state of Florida. Shit, $4.65 million not enough. Yo, just before I continue again, they said for the past year, she remained in the hospital bound to a special hospital bed and depends on a catheter, medical breathing assistance.
Yeah, they kept her alive for that case.
Yeah, tracheostomy and a feeding tube. Yeah, the hole in her throat and shit. And a feeding tube and shit. And then say we're gonna give you $4.65
keep her alive just for that case.
Million, yeah.
Lawyers are getting paid. No,
yeah, that's why I was like, damn, that's a little bit of money. So then they go, the family, Darren Rainey, the 50-year-old inmate, was schizophrenic, whose death in a rigid shower at Dade Correctional Institution led to sweeping reforms, settled for $4.5 million. Then he settled for 4.5, and she got 4.65. And I'm gonna say that's the largest settlement. Like, these people in Florida got low self-esteem. A U.S. district judge signed an order Tuesday asking the clerk to close Weimer's case. The settlement agreement was all right. So let me get to the point where
they probably only getting that shit because they gonna make that shit intentional.
they
get millions.
Yo, listen to this shit right here, y'all. They go, Weimer's neck and spinal cord. Wait. All right, wait. Let me make sure. Yeah. All right. So it goes. Wait, let me see. Yeah, okay. So let me do it from over here. Cause I don't want to say what happened. I want to say the story first. So it goes. The officers became confrontational with Weimer after she declined. Wait. So they go. Officers ordered her to get on her knees and scrub a toilet, but Weimer, who had a hip condition. Yeah. It says August 2019, the attack which happened while she was on prison work duty at Lowell Correctional Institution. Officers ordered her to get on her knees and scrub a toilet, but Weimer, who had a hip condition, complained that she was in pain and said she was unable to do this. The officer became confrontational with Weimer after she declared a mental health emergency, therefore requiring medical personnel to get involved. The confrontation triggered a psychological episode requiring medical intervention. According to the lawsuit filed on her behalf, Weimer has been serving time since January 2016 on domestic violence-related charges. She has a history of mental and physical disability. The officers allegedly slammed Weimer to the ground and beat her, breaking her neck, the lawsuit said. They dragged her like a rag doll across the prison as her head bounced on the hard ground. They continued to beat her in an area outside the view of the surveillance cameras, so you know that they intentionally know where the areas are that you can get beat up and that's out the camera view. The suit says she was handcuffed throughout the attack. So throughout this whole shit, she's handcuffed while he slammed her to the ground, breaking her neck, dragging her like a rag doll and shit. The suit says they said her neck and spinal cord were broken, right, in this attack. They said a distraught prison nurse told 911 dispatcher that an ambulance was needed immediately because Weimer was barely breathing. After initially being Yeah, you know what I'm saying? All because
Beat
she
the
said
bricks
she,
off.
all because she said she couldn't bend over the damn clean the fucking
crazy.
toilet. This is what
I
caused
can't
all
get
of this
down.
shit.
Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, like
Damn.
yo, so they said she had a surgery and all the other shit like that. Yeah, nothing else about the case really. And they, they showed the two fucking guys and shit like that who did the shit. But the point of me saying that story is this: that's what they did to a white woman, right? They do the same shit to white dudes, right? So the whole point that I'm making is they know them. They know how they people get down. That's why they out there fighting, because they don't want that shit now going down to their communities. So that's why they out there fighting. They know they people. They know that rap. But we out here thinking, oh, people give a fuck about us. No, I told you. All this protest and riots and shit, they're using that on the Republican side to be like, you see what the Democrats doing? See what they up to? Because it is a little suspicious, right, Smoke, that you really only see all of this shit in Democratic fucking states, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a little strange.
At the very least.
Yeah.
I ain't no conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, that's pretty interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's all the big major plays, all part of the big play and shit. It's like, if you just put it as part of the puzzle, you got the basketball players out here. Don't forget trying to get the stadiums to do voting. You got all agendas at the end of the day.
It's like a big rally call for voters. You know what I'm saying? Like a big rally call and shit. It's like, we have to get out. We have to vote. We got to get him out of office. We got to push Trump out because we got to regain America. Yeah.
No more MAGA. No more MAGA.
And everybody go and shit and vote and shit like that. But it's like, what do we get? We got Trump out. Hey, well, what do we get? Trump out?
Democrats.
Democrats in office? No, you don't understand. The fight ain't over. We got him in. Now we have to pressure him to do. No, you can't. That's like saying, a girl saying, I'm going to let him hit. But now that he hit, now I'm going to make him commit to me. What is he talking about? I'm already, I hit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell are you talking about? You can't pressure me now. I don't smash. Fuck. Yeah, that's how we are now. That's the new hustler shit is. Now that they're in office, now we have to pressure them and stay on their necks about, you know how you do that?
Okay.
You call them and say, hey, if you don't do this shit, we're not donating to you again, to your next election, your next campaign shit, and we'll primary you. We're going to put our money towards your whoever's running against you. That's how you put pressure on somebody. You don't pressure them by protesting and saying all kind of loud shit. You call them up and you say, hey, we want this on the ballot. That's what we're paying you for. Well, I don't think we want to put this on the ballot. Oh, you don't? No doubt. Check it. Next election, don't come over here for money. We going with your... And that's how you do that shit. But because we don't got the money, we believe we're going to pressure somebody. So, yeah, we're going to pressure Smoke to do what we want. And then the opposition just cut Smoke a $250,000 check to do what they want. And I'm like, so Smoke, do you have us? Do you have our backs, brother?
I sure do. Turn around.
Let me put my hand on your back. Thank you, sir. You know what I'm saying? Like, just cut that check. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, man, I can't believe the brother sold us out. It's like, but you gotta understand, man, this is a political. it's all a game now. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's capitalism. When you understand the game, you don't complain about it. You learn the game, you master the game, and you go. And guess what? When I say you, I'm not. See, because talking to Bianchi Smoke, I have to explain this. When I'm saying you, I'm not talking about you, as in you who's listening to me right now. I'm talking about your energy, your lineage. So if you're in a position to do it, then do it. If you're in a position to do it and teach your children, do that. If you cannot do it, teach your children it. Raise your children that. Maybe you looking for some type of guidance and guideline of, how should I raise my child? Raise your child like that. Raise your child to be warriors inside here, ready to fight the system by playing their games and competing. You see what I'm saying? Just like Bianchi said, you're going to teach your children about the stocks. You damn right I'm going to teach my children about the stocks. Because when these other kids out here is out here selling drugs and shit and breaking into fucking houses and all kind of shit like that, my sons are going to be flipping money on the market. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, fuck out of here. You damn right I'm going to be teaching my sons about the stock market. You know what I'm saying? So you damn right I'm going to have them on my credit card. So when I'm paying my credit card bills, their credit increase too. So by the time they turn 18 years old, they got perfect A credit. You damn right I'm going to have them have an EIN number. You damn right they're going to have their own fucking, I'm trying to have my children set up where they walking out here in the world powerful. Way more powerful than me, than I ever was. You know what I'm saying? At that age. So, you know, we gotta really keep our eyes open and the vision clear and shit like that. 2020 is here, you know what I'm saying? And we're moving over to 2021 now, which is now going to be basically the realization of Trump's presidency. And because the shock is going to be in a couple of more months, but the realization is going to, because it's going to be just like how it was in 2016. Trump going to become president, everybody going to be shocked, but then they're going to want to forget about it with turkey and Christmas and Halloween and stuff. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Well, no, that's November, my bad. So it's going to be here for turkey and Christmas. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, so that's how that shit gonna be and shit. But yeah, but once he do that shit, then we're gonna go into the New Year's 2021, and then Trump do his inauguration shit, and everybody gonna realize, this motherfucker got in again. I can't believe that shit. And then we, you know what I'm saying? We back to business, and we gotta go on and do what we gotta do. You know what I'm saying? And after Trump is gonna be another Republican president. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the reality. So the whole thing that we need to be figuring out is what is it that we need, and how can we achieve it? You know what I'm saying? And that's the focus. Some people plan can happen immediately. Some people plan is a 10-year plan, 18-year plan. You know what I'm saying? 20-year plan. So it's like you can't sit there and look at somebody else's plan and worry about yours and focus on yours, and let somebody else focus on theirs. Shit, anything you want to say to close it out, Smoke?
Shout out to Bianchi, man. Calling in.
Oh, yeah.
Wild words. Bianchi always showing love.
That's right. Yeah, show some love, too, you know what I'm saying? Go to that Cash App, Black Wadada LLC, BLACKWADADA LLC. You know what I'm saying? Show some love on the cash side of the game, or the gang. You know what I mean?
Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. That shit crazy.
Yeah, man. That was some wild information. For real. You know, the brother was sick for a minute.
See what the hell happened. Yeah, I ain't really. I mean, I saw he was getting slim in the joint, but I ain't really know he was sick or whatever. But damn, that's the case, brother. Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever, son. Yeah. And other than that, we'll see you next time, and we out of here. Peace. 808 Mafia.